Hello, my name is Tony Beers, and this is Movie Reads.
And just like the movies, we play out our last scene.
Hey everybody, Tony Beers here again, and we're doing another three-person review for, Toxic Pop, and we got Mike here this time.
It's Mad Mike.
Mad Mike. And Jay, of course. And this time we're gonna review Ender's Game. Ender's Game takes place in the future, 50 years after a war with alien invaders. At this time, children are being trained in preparation for a possible second war with these aliens. The main character, Ender, is being conditioned to lead these young people into battle. And we brought Ender, and we got Ender himself, Mike himself, say
he is the expert on this.
Is the expert on this, so that's why he's here, because he can tell us what they did right and what they did wrong with the book. Well, I'll just say, you've read the book. I've kind of read some parts of the comic. I've only read a couple pages.
Well, that's more than you. You guys have more than me, because I haven't read either.
I read, like, in this movie, the first 5 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
Right just before he gets sent off to battle school.
Yeah.
That's where I stopped reading it, and I'll say that first 5 minutes was correct as far as I know. That was exactly the way it was in the comic.
Yeah.
So they got that right, I'll say, first off. But I don't know from there. What do you guys think of the acting? Let's start with Mike.
Well, whoever they chose for Ender did an amazing job playing Ender. It made me feel what Ender was going through the whole movie. I really loved it. It was like, yeah, I want to be right there with the spot where he beats the crap out of the bully that time, and he goes, I had to stop him for future fights and everything else. Harrison Ford, I had kind of a clue that they would cast him as Graf in a way, because he has that demeanor to play Graf in the movie. Anderson, yeah, it wasn't too bad. The acting wasn't too bad for Anderson.
Yeah, remind me, who's Anderson?
I would call her like a guidance counselor.
Counselor in a way, yes. Of course, Sir Ben Kingsley came in as Major Rackham. It was brief, but I liked it. It was really cool. He did an amazing job playing Rackham. So, other than that, the cast was really good. Petra, Bean, Eli, they were good. They were good too. They did a really amazing job with the cast too for the kids. So, I have nothing to complain about with the cast or crew. So they did an amazing job with that. So,
I'm gonna agree with you. I loved Harrison Ford in his role. Like you said, it fit him well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was joking about him warm up to Star Wars Episode 7, but he did an amazing job. The kid, I can't remember his name, is like Aja Butterfield or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Great as Ender. I mean, you could feel him through everything. The pain, the suffering, everything. All the other characters, like I said, I never read the book or the comic, but I could feel their roles. They did them really well. The lady, like we were saying, was like the guidance counselor or whatever.
Yeah, I understand.
You could really feel her, like, how she was feeling about Ender.
Yeah. And the
can he take this? And they were constantly testing him. And she was like, you can't do that. You're not treating them as kids. You're treating them as, soldiers.
Yeah.
And they're kids.
Yeah.
And as far as the story goes, with the way the characters were, man, they were really good on picking who did what, and really hit them really well. I mean, this day and age, you don't always find that in a movie.
Well, it was kind of weird to see Bonzo being played by the kid from Hannah Montana, for God's sakes. I mean, this kid was shorter than Ender in the damn movie.
That's where he was in.
Yeah.
I recognize him.
Yeah. Little fucker was short, man. I thought, go ahead.
Isn't he the dude that, like, ran the thing on the beach?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God.
That was funny.
Too many frightful memories of my daughter liking Hannah Montana.
as one who hasn't watched Hannah Montana, I wouldn't know. These guys are apparently big fans.
Hey.
I
have a daughter that was into Hannah Montana, not this guy.
Well, what's your excuse, Mike? He's got a daughter.
I just recognize him. I flip through channels, ass.
The acting for me, I think they all did a good job. I can't really complain that much. There's a couple scenes. Okay, I've got to be the bad guy in this movie. I guess I'm the Harrison Ford of this movie, but of this review. But there's a couple scenes. Okay, like when Ender and his buddies are in that anti-gravity room for the first time. What is that called?
The battle room.
Battle room.
Yeah.
And they got their blasters or guns or whatever they are, and they're like, oh, let's try this out, you know. I thought that was kind of flat for the, like, I thought they'd be more excited. Oh, look at this. Oh, look what it can do. It froze me. And I thought they would be more excited, but I think they were a little too calm in that scene.
Yeah, I can see your point. Maybe they could have been like, I can see what you're saying, like they were kids.
Right, exactly.
I can see your point on that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I'd be like, oh, look, I froze your leg, Mike. He's like, I'm going to kick your ass. I can't get over there. Yeah. I mean, I could see your point on that. That would have been fun. Like, I would have probably done it. I'd be like, hey, Tony, I'm going to shoot you right in the butt. You know, my butt's frozen.
Yeah, they didn't seem like they were having fun. You know,
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. That's probably, I kind of overlooked that, but I can see your point on that.
And I don't blame the actors. I think I don't, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it might be the direction they were given. But well, that's for a lot of scenes that were good. Like, you know, I mean, you could tell like Ender himself was getting. There's a lot of scenes where he's getting emotion. You can just look in his eyes; he's crying, and they're getting all red and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the actor's fault, and that at least for that scene.
You can blame the director for that one. Yeah. Let's freeze him in the ass.
Let's freeze him in the ass. Let's talk about the story. What did you think of the story itself?
Me, I loved the story, but the problem I had with it is that Peter was only in it for about 2 minutes in the whole entire movie.
His brother,
Ender's brother, yeah, Ender's brother in the whole in the book. Valentine,
his
sister, and Peter basically bond together to start up some kind of network to get people on their side about what's going on with the other countries because the war's coming close to an end and everything else. They think that all the old stuff's going to start back up again, and they're trying to bring people to know it. And, you know, Peter and Valentine are trying to do this so that way they get people to notice them. They didn't do this at all in this movie. They could at least, you know, I wouldn't have cared if they would have done it for 3 minutes in the movie. You know, 3 minutes, I can sit there for 3 minutes and let Peter and Valentine talk out a couple things, talk about discussing what they're going to do for the future and whatever else. But that, other than that, they followed the story almost 90% through. Okay. The only thing I was just disappointed is they wasted the guy who played Peter. They wasted that character.
Yeah.
Wasted him. Just had him come in, do the fight scene where he kicked that dude's ass in, you know, the school, and then that was it. I was like, really? What a waste.
So, yes, I wanted to bring up, when we were talking about the story, that this is one of those movies, you know, like Signs or Sixth Sense or something like that, where the ending is a big part of the movie, and you don't want to spoil that for anybody.
No. I hate doing that to people.
Right.
I hate doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Jay, what do you think of the story?
I thought the story was good. Like I said, I had never read the source material, so I don't have that take like Mike does. But I was into the movie. I was enjoying watching it. I kind of agreeing with him. They were talking about his brother and how he didn't make it. Mm-hmm. Why not? Why didn't they show examples of why his brother didn't make it? Yeah. Or his sister, for that matter, because neither one of them made it. They could have showed exactly why those two did not qualify for the training.
They said, but, you know...
They said it, but they could have gotten more detail. Why? Why was his brother...
Yeah.
They said he was too aggressive. Why was he too aggressive?
Well, this is something that they say about movies a lot, is show, don't tell. I mean, I think that's a problem with this movie. and I'm glad you brought that up because they told us, okay, that they're wrong for the program, but they didn't show us.
That's right.
I would have liked to see it. Why?
Yeah.
Give me examples of why Peter didn't make it.
Yeah.
Or why Valentine didn't make it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have felt a lot better about that situation.
Oh yeah.
That's the part I agree with you on. They could have got a little bit more, and they did waste that character.
They did.
They showed a little bit more of Valentine in the story.
Yeah,
but why was... And another thing that bothered me, that it's a minor gripe, as Tony would say.
Yeah.
Ender and her were really close. Why?
Yeah.
Why were they so close and Peter was distant?
Toxic Pop has a new Facebook page. Like it to see pictures and keep informed about our upcoming events and videos. A link is in the description. Go to www.facebook.com/toxicpop1.